My adolescence has been really, really weird. I know for a fact that it's been completely deviant to like what it's like for most people in Gen Z, and that has definitely made me developmentally stunted. Like all in Gen Z, being able to be normal, understanding the social interaction is like super important. And I have Asperger. So I'm really bad at understanding like subtle social rules. And it's made me stunted because of isolation. Like I remember when I went and studied at Helsingårdsskolan, it was called. I became quite stunted and isolated there because of my Asperger's. And that was quite a few years. Then I studied at what was called a private English school, and that was nice. I really liked that place. And I made friends, and I really progressed socially when I studied at English private school. But then it also was pretty nice when I studied at Lugnet. But when I studied at Musikkonservatoriet Falun, then socially I regressed quite sadly. And then I lost contact a lot. And I lost contact, and then I tried to regain it. But when I tried to regain it, then society revolves all around these private chat cults, and I have such a hard time with the private chat cults. I don't like them at all. I like being on the web. I think a lot about transparency and everything being comprehensible, understandable, documenting everything. I do not like the private chat cults thingy. But I believe God is fair. I believe in the market. I believe in the universe. I believe the market, in balance, in Jesus. To some degree, of course. I think some things I can't forgive, like murder. Then I think that your time on this planet is up physically. But maybe you will like go to heaven afterwards because of Jesus or something, I don't know. But in any case, I've been thinking like how I can fix myself socially because I want to develop again. I want to get into society and experience things. But again, I'm quite stunted socially because of my brain is so built around formality. So and growing up, it's like my brain has been built very much around formality. But society isn't very formal. People love it is so informal. Growing up, as soon as I got to the informal context, I just fell apart. And informal interaction is such a big part of becoming a part of society. It's most people's entire youth. But for me, it was completely chaos. Like it didn't work because of my Asperger. I worked really well in the academic formal context, and then as soon as the academic formal context were over, it went all to shit. It went completely to shit. And yes, that's been in my entire youth. Like, when I think about it, like I remember when I started at Helsingården, then the formal academic bits went really, really great. And then the informal bits went really, really bad, like, building closer relationships, having contact, building romantic relationships, all of that shit didn't go well. So like I've been really trying to work on my ability to build contact. And that's not too late. I go a lot to church for that. And I love the internet and formality. Oh God, I love the internet. The web is God. And I love the internet. I will say that over and over again. I love the internet. I love the web and formality. But still, I want to get better at building closer relationships. I believe closer relationships are real good. Like I really don't like it when people romanticize Asperger's, like, because life isn't just about formality. Like building romantic relationships, close friendships, that requires being able to navigate the informal context. And I completely failed at that growing up. I need to really develop that aspect of myself, I feel. Otherwise, I'm screwed. Like I can't just keep on being on the internet and keep on hoping that the entire web will revolve around transparent interaction on the web. Like I keep babbling about. But I do love the web. I really do love the web. And I really do think that the future is English. Like communists, all of the communists are Anglophobes. They hate English. I noticed that. I noticed that in Sweden. I noticed that in Russia. I noticed that in Japan. They're like national socialists. All of them hate English because to them, English represents God to them, and they don't want to think about God because most communists are apparent criminals. Communists don't want to think about God. That is what English reminds them of. And the web. The web and the internet reminds people of God. And communists don't want to think about God because they're all criminals, like severe criminals. I still think I have hope in developing myself socially. I still really think that Sweden needs to make it easier to take central stimulants, because I think those are really important to focus. Really need to develop my ability to interact in an informal context. I still really don't like people who are like super informal and super nonchalant about. Like I'm a person who really I really like documenting everything. I really like transparency. I mean, so I don't like, sort of growing up, I always thought that informality. I don't need to ever deal with that because the opaque underground. Why would that ever become relevant? I thought, but I suppose that the opaque underground, as I like to call it, is important for development. And I really need to practice on that. Like I go out into society still, it's just pure brain fog. But I need to develop that part in closeness and contact. I don't think people should romanticize autism. I don't think people should romanticize not being independent and not understanding the informal world. I am super concerned when people do that. I said in my last video, I think that contact is everything. And I mean, being requires contact. Since contact is completely central, autism isn't something to romanticize, at least not in greater amounts. I romanticize just the right amount of Asperger's. I romanticize just the right amounts of Asperger. And I shun the not right amounts of Asperger. Or the too much Asperger's, because too much Asperger's, that will get you nowhere. That will become absolute hell for you. Don't romanticize it. You're not above people without Asperger. You're not pure because you have autism or something. Some people say that people with autism are pure and society is ugly and they're too pretty for this ugly world, and that's not true. This world is beautiful and balanced to most part, I would say. And you just need to get up your ability. But I will say this last few years, oh man, all of these private shackles have made society so completely inaccessible and opaque. I don't understand what's going on. I know that's because of my Asperger's. If I didn't have Asperger, then I would understand these private shackles more, how they work and why people create them, and how to get into them, these private shackles. Because I really want to understand this world. It's amazing to me. And this world of informal interaction, private chats, romantic relationships, that's something I'm still quite a bit behind on. I don't know, I believe in Jesus to some degree. I believe the world is fair. I believe that the world isn't unfair fundamentally. And I don't believe that being a malevolent person wins. I don't believe that sadism wins. I don't take joy in other people's suffering. Why would I? I don't take joy in like people being obsessively normal. Like that's one of the things that I think a positive trait about me. I don't take joy in seeing like people who are murdered get sentenced to death. I just feel sad about the loss of a person and the bad actions that lead to this person having to be sentenced to death. I suppose you can't do that because of rättssäkerhet, but then maybe they'll kill themselves instead. What was I thinking more? Just keep going out, keep walking on that contact everyone. Contact is everything, and you know, if you lose it, well, I suppose I am. Do I take joy in seeing mercy? Yes, I do, because that's what do I think? Yeah, I know I do. I think there's a bit of hate in me. There has to be a bit of hate in me. I don't believe that we can just be happy about everyone. I think some people do deserve to die. Like if a murderer kills themselves, I think that's right. If a murderer kills himself, that is right. So I think that hate to some degree is important. That's an important trait to take. To be angry at people who are wrong. But I don't believe it being unnecessarily hateful. Being unnecessarily angry would win. Yeah, no. Hate is right in the right amounts. I don't like murderers. And I'm happy when they die. But still, I think that because murderers do kill themselves, I think the world becomes better. I believe that once, when a murderer kills themselves, they have done their part. They have done what they need to rectify. I sort of do believe that all sins are forgiven, but you still have to take the punishment. That's the deal. You have to take the punishment. So I have a bit of hate in me, but it's not like I'm not unnecessarily hateful. I do feel I feel like the world is in balance when murderers commit suicide. I don't like it when towards minor sex offenders kill themselves. That's not balanced. It's not balanced. It bothers me actually. Yeah, don't romanticize autism, Asperger's, romanticize contact in my art. That is something I emphasize in my art. Contact. And I do not romanticize in contact. Like, I romanticize contact, I don't, because contact is everything. What is contact? Do I have contact now? Contact with who? Where should I have contact with? Contact with God. I romanticize contact with God. First and foremost. My relationship is first and foremost to God. Because I know that God rewards good behavior. And rationale, I believe that God rewards rationalism and punishes irrationalism. Mm. So basically, be rational, be good at contact, don't romanticize not having contact, have contact with God, but also have contact with your surrounding, have contact with God and surrounding. Every day, pray to God, pray to Jesus, God bless. That's what I do. I get up, I go to church, I thank God and Jesus and the balance in the universe and having contact. And I need to get my hand around these private chat cults, even if I don't really like them. Maybe I will adopt them. Who knows? Maybe I'm just being stupid. Maybe I will adopt the private chat cults. Maybe I will. I think I will have to. I think I will have to. Mm-hmm. I love nature. I love contact. Those are things I really look up to. I don't believe in UBI. I don't think UBI is necessary. I believe in universal basic environmental laws. And that people really need to respect nature. But UBI, I don't believe that's necessary, man. I believe that people are good at giving money, putting their money where there is brain activity. I actually believe that. And I believe that money is to be used to show where there is brain activity. I believe in the market, but also I believe money is a tool in the market. I don't believe that money is the goal in the market. That's a mistake if you do that. The market is about intellect, academic success, creativity, and brain activity. And I believe that there needs to be a bit of hate in you. Not too much hate. But there needs to be hate in the right amount. Hate for the things that don't make the world not function. I need to develop better contact with my peers. Yeah. Contact, balance in the force. Contact, balance in the force. Those are the subjects that I'm just pushing today and just reminding me of. Contact and balance in the force. And I am mostly right wing. The only thing I want left wing wise is the environment bit, because the environment is we only have one Earth. Yep, only one. And if that one doesn't really work, it's I would say I have fundamentally a left-wing view. We own the world together. There is one world and we need to take care of it. So I'm quite left-wing, I would say. But I don't believe in UBI. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think that's the future. I think maybe that makes me radical at this point, because many people think that it's the future because of AI. They don't believe that human creativity, human intelligence is any powerful, that it can't compete. But somehow animals still exist, and while humans exist, we have far greater intellectual capacity than animals, but still animals exist. Yeah, no, I'm fundamentally left-wing. The world is something we want together. But I'm quite right-wing. I don't think a UBI is necessary. Social liberal. Because of my great belief in the importance of caring for the environment. So I'm social liberal. Peace, love, contact, hate in some amount. God bless. Justice. In the end, I think we go to heaven if we do the right thing. Yeah. I need to take my hand for that. Maybe. yeah, it's that time, I think. Yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.